Okay, and we're back with another game in our Peasant series, with Josh playing red-green Aggro, and myself playing mono-green Stompy. Deck lists included below in the video description. Both of our decks are very fast, with Josh's deck containing Bloodbraid Elf, and mine Strangleroot Geist. Let's get into it. I win the die roll and keep this as my opening hand. Josh's hand. I start the game with Llanowar Elves. Josh throws down on some Skyshroud Ridgeback. 2/3 for only 1 mana, but with the drawback of dying in 3 turns. I one-up Josh's Ridgeback with a Colonian Tusker. Josh then one-ups me with a Horned Kavu, bouncing his Ridge back to his hand. On my turn, I attack and Josh blocks the Elves with his Kavu. In response, I Giant Growth the Elves, making it 4/4 and killing the Kavu and surviving the attack. Josh takes 3 damage from the Tusker. I then cast Garrick's Companion post-combat. On his turn, Josh puts the Ridge back in play. Okay, that's enough. He casts Curdape, which is also 2/3, and then Chain Lightnings my Tusker. I attack with the Companion on my turn, and Josh double blocks with his creatures. I choose to kill the Curdape. I then play out the rest of my hand with Dub Gazban Ogres, as well as another Garrick's Companion. On his 4th turn, Josh casts Bloodbraid Elf, which is normally a good card unless you cascade into Scab Clan Mauler. No Bloodthirst for you. Josh attacks with his creatures, and I block the Bloodbraid with an Ogre to keep my life total high, since I will lose it anyway if I don't, and just take 2 damage from the Ridgeback, since it will be dead soon anyway. I then attack Josh for 6 on my turn and cast yet another Gazban Ogre. Josh then plays Teetering Peaks to give his Trampling 1/1 +2. He then casts Rancor on the Ridgeback and attacks with both creatures. Now, I could have blocked with my Ogres, but since Josh wouldn't have more life than me, the Ridgeback will die next turn anyway. The Peak's effect will wear off on the Mauler, so I decide to just take the damage. I then attack for 8 on my turn, which Josh takes. His Ridgeback dies, but he gets back Rancor. Josh casts Curdape, and then recasts Rancor on the Scab Mauler, and then attacks, but since he's dead anyway on my next attack phase, we go to game 2. Game 2, Josh goes first and starts with the Ridgeback. I again start with the Elves. Josh Teetering Peaks, and I take 4 damage, which means I won't be playing Gazban Ogre. I instead cast Strangleroot Geist and attack for 3. On his turn, Josh removes the last counter from the Ridgeback and attacks for 2. He then casts Horned Kavu and bounces the Ridgeback back to his hand. On my turn, I cast a second Strangleroot Geist and attack for 4. Josh doesn't block. I then cast Colonian Tusker. Josh declines to attack on his turn and casts Skyshroud Ridgeback and Keldon Marauders, dealing me 1 damage. On my turn, I also abstain from my combat phase and just cast Rogue Elephant, sacking a forest, and Jungle Lion, who says he can't block, but who knows if he's telling the truth because he's a lion? Oh, I get it. Josh removes counters from creatures on his upkeep and then attacks with everyone. I put the Tusker in front of the Ridgeback, the Elephant in front of the Kavu, and the Strangleroot Geist in front of the Marauders. After blockers, Josh casts Lightning Bolt on the Tusker. I respond by casting Mutagenic Growth on the Elephant to save him from dying. I take no damage, and the Stranglerootgeist comes back from the Undying trigger. On my turn, I attack with every single body, and Josh takes 11 damage. Post-combat, I cast Lenore Elves. On Josh's upkeep, I take 1 damage when the Kelton Marauders leaves play. Holding Bloodbraid in hand, but sadly dwelling into Teetering Peaks, Josh does not have his 4th mana to cast it, so he won't be able to survive my next attack phase. We go to game 3. Josh starts game 3 once again, but unfortunately has to mulligan. I found that mana is an issue with that deck. Josh starts by casting Herd Ape. I cast Jungle Lion. It's like a jungle up in here. On his turn, Josh starts by Teetering Peaksing the ape, making it 3/1, and then Chain Lightning-ing my Jungle Lion and attacking for 3. On my turn, I cast Land Grant for free, revealing my hand to Josh, searching up a forest, and then playing it. I then play my biggest creature, Colonian Tusker. 1 copy of the Tusker rounds out my uncommons for this deck, but surprisingly, I have drawn and cast it every game. Nice. Still dies to Lightning Bolt, though. Josh attacks for 1 and casts a second 1/1 Herd Ape. I cast Garrick's Companion, still shy on my 3rd forest. Still devoid of his first forest, Josh just suspends Riftbolt and passes. I cast Stranglerootgeist and attack for 5. Josh attacks for 2. Oh, and uses Riftbolt during the upkeep to kill the companion. I play another Stranglerootgeist and attack for 4. Not too many exile effects in Peasant, huh? Still no forests, Josh attacks for 2. I attack for 4, and now that I have more life than Josh, I cast none other than 2 Gazban Ogres. Josh still doesn't rip a forest on his turn and decides to call it instead. Well, that's the game and the match. Let us know your continued thoughts on Peasant and who some of your favorite Peasant decks are. We usually play Commander or Tiny Leaders or Big Deck on this channel. I must say it is a little weird playing a format where you can have more than 1 copy of a card. Yeah. Alright, let's clone head out.